heard it all. This is going to be a shocker, guys. If you already don't know. Movie execs, movie studios actually wanted Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts, the one from Pretty Woman. They wanted her to play, drum roll please, Harriet Tubman. Yes, they wanted Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman. Wow. You could look at this from a million different standpoints and try to figure out why would they want Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman. Now, the first thought that comes to mind, a lot of people were upset that the actress that played Harriet Tubman is actually not from America. She's not Afro-American. And this could be a way of the studio saying, hey, we can choose whoever we want to play that role. Be happy that the person was even black. Just saying, that could be an angle. Because there was a lot of uproar. And hey, then all of a sudden you see this article come out that Julia Roberts was up for the role. Please. Or the movie cannot be doing so well and they need some publicity. What's a good way to get some publicity? We need a controversy. Controversy, that's always good for publicity. We need a controversy. Let's say we're gonna get somebody white to play Harriet Tubman. Yeah, that should piss people off. Yeah, they'll tweet about it. They'll make Facebook posts. They'll make Instagram posts. That's what we'll do. We'll start a controversy. And sure enough, people are talking about it. That could be another angle. But when I woke up and saw that this morning, I was like, wow, this is some really in your face. Hey, we do and pick whoever we want. F history. We'll change history. We'll make history what we want history to be. And this isn't the first time this happened. Elizabeth Taylor played Cleopatra. And depending on which scholar you speak to, Cleopatra could be anything from Greek to biracial to a dark-skinned Egyptian, depending on who you speak to. So that's one thing. But a lot of those theories I've been seeing recently. I don't remember seeing those when I was younger in the 80s. Mind you, I didn't do the research back then that I do now. And there are other examples of this taking place. You think about Al Pacino playing Puerto Rican in Carlito's Way, or Cuban in Scarface. There's always been times where certain characters were cast racially inaccurate. But what does it mean? Acting is acting. Are we there for the story? Or are we there for the, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but Julia Roberts playing Harriet Tubman, that's a little far-fetched. But you get what I'm saying? Like, all right. Then I start to think about it. If you want your vision turned into a movie, or if you want your vision produced, no one's going to produce it quite like you do. Quite like you do. So the producers of the movie, they do have some leeway or some right to choose whoever they want. Mind you, I think it's crazy that choice of Julia Roberts playing Harriet Tubman. But what do they say? He who has the goal makes the rules. And I mean, to be honest with you, that's why I started doing this. I'll tell you why I started doing this. I used to watch a lot of blaxploitation films, and you would always see the films with the gangsters in Harlem and the dealers in Harlem, and then the guy, this one character is in every movie. They call him Mr. Big. Mr. Big. He was always some mafioso. He would come through and be like about 200 pounds with a cigar in his mouth, and he would come through and he would smack the black gangsters and smack the black dealers and take like 99.9% of all their money. And growing up in Chicago, I didn't know what was going on up in Harlem, so I had to take what I saw in the movies. until I met some OGs that's from around that way. And I started asking. I said, did this really happen? Is this true? And they told me, hell no. On the contrary, it was almost the opposite. Almost the opposite. But I would have never found out if I didn't actually go out and sought and look for the information and actually put it out there so that the real story can be told. You know, if you put your story in someone else's hands, they're gonna shape it and mold it the way they see fit, that fits them, that fits their agenda, that they think is gonna make the most money. Now, let's ask this question. If Julia Roberts did play Harriet Tubman, would the movie be a blockbuster hit? You know, people would be mad as hell and go see it just based upon that fact. I want to see how this girl played Harriet Tubman. Shit, she can't run from south to north. She ain't got the kind of stamina. Yeah, people will go see it. And maybe the movie would be a blockbuster, one of those billion-dollar opening weekends and, you know, the highest grossing movie ever. I don't know. And, you know, there's some buzz about it now, but not on the level I think it should be on for such a historical figure. I mean, if you think about it, this is one of the most influential people to live in United States history, Harriet Tubman. And remember, there was talk years ago. Put on a $20 bill. You know you gotta be somebody that's gonna put you on the money. Especially someone who was enslaved and they're gonna put you on the money. That is a first. And I think it would say something about our culture, our country, our society. But that's neither here nor there. I am a proponent of producing what you want to see out there. We're never gonna get the movies we want with the heroes we want if we're not producing it. It's that simple. Very simple. You know, they always say, if you want something done, do it yourself. And I think this is one of those do-it-for-self situations, because there has been a lot of debate about seeing positive black characters in movies and being depicted as gangsters and drug dealers and deadbeat dads and dope fiends and pimps and teenage mothers. And then there was a debate about there not being enough roles for blacks and dramas. It's only comedy and playing the sidekick. And now it's like, oh, the roles that are meant for blacks like Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman could potentially be given away to people who are not people of color. And this has happened a lot. I can tell you this back from when I used to do print modeling. A lot of the models you see in print ads were not necessarily Afro-American per se. They may be from the islands. Some were of Arab descent. Some were, Samoan or Pacific Islander descent, but they weren't Afro-American. But they would actually have them shave their heads down for some of the shoots, so you couldn't tell by the hair texture. And they would promote clothing to black people using non-black people. This is a fact, something I've seen with my own eyes, something I can attest to. But once again, it goes without saying, if we're not producing what we want to see, how much right do we have to complain? Yes, we could complain because it's not historically accurate. That we definitely have a valid complaint about. But I mean, just on and up and down the line, it's time to start putting out what we want to see. And if someone is doing it, like your Tyler Perry's, your Spike Lee's, your rest in peace John Singleton, like he did, or even my mentor Melvin Van Peebles, the first to do an independent film. If you have people like that out there, we have to support them wholeheartedly to keep this thing going. Otherwise, can we really complain? All right, let's take it a step back a little bit. Remember, Robert Downey Jr. played in blackface in Chocolate Thunder, or whatever the movie was called. And I didn't see the uproar I thought I would have saw. I heard people actually saying, yeah, he actually did a good job. And I mean, come on, man. Like, come on. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think. Leave comments. Let me know. Would the movie have made more money if Julia Roberts played Harriet Tubman? Is it a smack in the face? I think it is, but I'm still going to ask the question. Do you think it's a smack in the face if she played Harriet Tubman? Should an Afro-American have gotten a role to play Harriet Tubman? Or are we okay with the European black playing